Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Roy Potter, and it's very late on Thursday night, the 26th of September 2019. This probably will not be up until the wee morning hours of the 27th. But because of the types of events that are transpiring and how dire and dangerous they are, I just couldn't sleep tonight, and I decided that I needed to put this video up, making a few clarifications and sounding a warning. With this entire thing on the Ukraine phone call by President Trump, uh, in my own understanding of this thing, it is not a crime. It's doing what a president does, and it's being used by his enemies. And I want to hasten here to explain that they are our enemies. They are the enemies of all that the Republic of the United States of America stands for. That's what's going on here. Remember, I've said for a long time that the intelligence community is our most dangerous domestic enemy. They don't care about sustaining the Republic and the Constitution. They only care about their power, and it's been that way for a long time. I've been talking about it for decades, and virtually nobody listened. Well, it's pretty obvious that they've been very much involved, not just the FBI, although it's actually part of the IC as well, and the Democrats and the leftist Marxists in the Democratic Party. Let me make sure I really get precise here. These people have been trying to take over our country for a long time. They are socialist, communists. They are the real fascists, actually. I know that doesn't make any sense. Let's call them authoritarians, okay? Tyrants. Everything that we've seen them do over the last 3 years, and for me for a lot longer time, has shown all of us, should have shown all of us what's happening here and how dire this is. The unfortunate thing is that too many Americans have had themselves brainwashed. Even Eric Holder said, oh, we're going to brainwash people to think entirely differently about guns, for instance. Well, they've done the same thing about the Constitution and what it means, the perfect law of liberty, our founding, everything. Well, it's obvious that the CIA has been involved with this coup from the beginning. Brennan, his cronies, why Gene Haspel was put in by President Trump, I'll never understand his selections. I never will. Last week, the last video I put up, I said our country's lost. And I was talking about the McCabe and Comey situation where they will likely not get indicted. So far, we haven't seen anything. There have been commentators that say, "Oh, it's coming, it's right around the corner," and well, of course, we've been hearing that for a long time. My point in all that is that who has the power in this country to stop the discovery and the prosecution of corruption and crimes? Well, it's changed apparently from the president and even the DOJ, and it's all moved into the IC. They control it all, probably underneath. I mean, we could name a whole bunch of people, starting off with Hillary Clinton. The point is that there is no justice in the United States anymore, and there hasn't been for a long time. I've been warning about all of this for at least 3 decades, and I've been pointing the finger at the intelligence community for all of that time. Well, now we find out that it was a CIA individual who took hearsay information and then repeated it in an IG complaint, in an intelligence community IG complaint, and that has gained traction in our governmental institutions and the media, etc. Hearsay information. Hearsay. If you don't know what hearsay is, it's basically saying what you heard somebody else say that somebody else said. That's kind of what it is. And it falls far outside the purview of probable cause, due process, even reasonable suspicion in a lot of cases. So like I said last week, I'm very upset that President Trump has done some of the things he has that have been contrary to the Constitution. Primarily, his ineffectual protection of the First Amendment, if he's even really tried at all, and really there doesn't appear to be that even with his speech in the United Nations. By the way, that United Nations speech that he gave, it sounded wonderful like all of his speeches do, but I don't see the action on the ground. And we can say that there are a lot of reasons for that. But the bottom line is that that's the truth of the matter. His inaction on protecting the First Amendment has been disastrous for most of us. Then his attack on the Second Amendment, not just with the bump stock deal because of the Las Vegas shooting, all right, but also his entire situation with the red flag laws, taking the guns first and due process later. He doesn't understand that the greatest enemy to our safety is the government itself, especially when you get rogue elements like what's going on in the intelligence community now. Individual shooters, individual criminals, I don't want them to have guns either. But it's hard to define who cannot have a weapon, because you start getting into a situation where you infringe on the rights of good law-abiding people merely because of their political views or because maybe they don't think the same way you do. And Wray said that. FBI Director Wray said that. Okay, and I'm not going to rehash all that. It's very late. The lighting isn't perfect in here tonight, and maybe the sound isn't. I'm doing this very impromptu, but I didn't want to do a live stream, even though I could have done that real quick, and it had been up, because I wanted the quality to be better. The connection with the internet is kind of dubious at this point. So what I'm getting down to is this. No, I don't trust President Trump. He says things, and he's done a lot of great things. Don't misunderstand me, but the very core of what we want to defend, he has been very weak on. And it's because of that I can't trust him. So what I'm saying is this. I trust the republic that he stands for. Okay? I trust and I will defend, okay, the republic, even if it's just an idea. That's what I'll defend. And when he is in line with those principles, then he receives my loyalty and my backing. I hear a lot of people talking a lot of things right now about this entire deal with the call to Ukraine, and a lot of pundits and a lot of commentators and people even on the right are saying, oh, this will work out great for Trump, he's got him where he wants him. And then, of course, the other side is very negative, saying, no, we've got him and he's going down. The real issue, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going down. Okay? So I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. When Trump is in line with the Constitution, for instance, supporting, defending, and sustaining the Bill of Rights, particularly the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments, and I mean all of them really, but at least those. When he stands against those, we have a problem. Oh, and I was going to come back and give some information on what would happen, or what was happening with the McCabe deal and with the Second Amendment infringement in the White House, the task force that was going on. Real quick, we don't know still about McCabe, but it looks like they're not going to go after him or Comey or anybody else. Still could be wrong about that, but and I'm going to read you something here which will show you the frustration in all of us, and I think it's important. And then the Second Amendment infringement with this task force, looking into various methods of the red flags and intrusion and surveillance and all of these types of things. I understand that's somewhat on hold right now, just so you know. It's not going away, because I think Trump has already said that he wants to do away with assault weapons. He said it back in about 2000, and he said it again basically during that thing that I told you about, to listen to that entire meeting that Headlines with a Voice put up, where he was talking about seizing the guns first and then doing due process. So we have a problem with Trump. He doesn't understand that, or he doesn't care. I don't know which it is. But I will still defend him as the elected president of the United States. Do you understand that? The coup that's going on against him, whatever the motivations and whatever the fighting is up there at the top levels of the elites, doesn't matter. The fact is, he is the president of the United States, and what they're doing to him is wrong, because they're doing it to us, and that's what they're really after. They are after to put him down so that we can no longer look to the possibility of fixing what's wrong in this country. They want us to be basically so put out, so disappointed, feel so outnumbered, that if they take Trump out, they think that that'll put the kibosh on the rest of us. Well, obviously that's not going to be the case, but we all feel it. Let me read you something, and this is the real reason why I wanted to come on tonight. I received this message, and I'm not going to tell you who it was from. I've actually quoted him several other times, and he'll know who he is when he sees this. And I appreciate him sending it to me, because this is emotional, it's gut-wrenching, but it comes from the gut too. So I won't tell you who he is, but thank you for sending it to me. Basically, it starts off with, surprise, whistleblower is CIA officer detailed to work at the White House, under Gina Haspel, under Brennan, under this entire mess that's the intelligence community is still after him. Trump just never understood that he had to do something about this. Remember the day that, and of course there's been the letter, that talked about this situation where Trump had all those military people around. He said a storm is coming. Yeah, right. Well, where are those people supporting him now? Why isn't he using them to do the things that I've called for? I'm not going to hash that out tonight. You should all know what it is. I've already talked about it. So here we are with the CIA being involved in this again. A Brennan crony, Gina Haspel crony, obviously. Really, they all are. Okay, let me just read to you what he said. Now, he comes down pretty hard on Trump, and rightly so, because Trump should have taken the initiative, seized the initiative, and done something earlier on. I even warned him. I said, if you don't go after him now, they're going to come after you later, and they're going to come after your family, and then they're going to come after us. Do you understand? We're seeing it. Don't believe all these people out there that are saying, oh, he's going to overcome this. This is going to be a cakewalk for him. Well, maybe. It depends on how this thing plays out. Let me just read this to you. Quote, what the hell is Gina Haspel doing? What is going on? The CIA guy in the White House. What do you expect from a Brennan-approved CIA director? After the conclusion of Mueller's witch hunt, after the botched performance of Mueller, when Congress was away on vacation, Trump should have fired Wray and Gina and cleaned the upper echelons of the intelligence community. When he had the high ground, he didn't move on to crush the deep state cabal. Exactly. Everybody was afraid of Trump at first. They really thought he was going to come in there and start beating people up. Instead, he looked weak, and he's looked weak ever since. All he ever does is tweet and whine. He did it really bad the last few days. So he's not acting. And they sense that weakness, and here they are. Here they come after him again. Trump should have fired Wray and Gina and cleaned the upper echelons of the intelligence community. When he had the high ground, he didn't move on to crush the deep state cabal. Now they're back at it, and he is in the ditch once again. Now people say, oh no, he's manipulating them. You can believe that, but be careful with that, okay? When you underestimate the enemy and overestimate your own strength, you can cause yourself a lot of problems. The best defense is offense. Duh. What is going on? Sorry, just angry with what's going on. Where the hell are the declassified documents that Trump ordered AG Barr to produce? When Barr let out the McCabe memo this last week, he redacted a lot of it. And the Last Refuge pointed out, they're on Twitter, they have a .com too, pointed out that those redactions show Barr's real intent, and it's not good. Who leaked General Flynn's name? How did Obama send billions in cash to Tehran? What happened to Epstein? Barr starting to look like Sessions 2.0. After Mueller's testimony, Trump should have fired Wray for the sole reason of authorizing the raid on Roger Stone. We don't use Gestapo tactics in America. Ditto Cohen's raid. Attorney-client privilege is sacred. Since the witch hunt was dead, no longer was the obstruction of justice case. Gina was in London at the time of the Spygate. Trump brings all this on to himself. Hiring snakes, firing patriots, not acting to crush the threat when they are demoralized. Wasting, remember I said seize the initiative? That's what that means. Wasting time until they regroup and attack again. Sorry, I'm angry with the two-tier justice system and the rat-infested intelligence community. Okay, I'm not going to say any more tonight. I just want you to know where I stand. I'm with that guy. Trump didn't act, and I've heard all of the excuses, okay? But he is the elected president. He's being mistreated. Whether or not it's a big drama game to put us on the, placation, or whether it could be any number of things. I'm not going to waste time tonight. All I'll say is this. He better damn start showing loyalty to all of us who have showed loyalty to the Constitution and the Republic. I'm not even going to say him anymore. And he's not done a very good job of that. Not when it comes down to it. Because the economic stuff that he's done is actually, well, it's been good, I suppose, but it's not just the end all of what we're about. It's supposed to be the end product of our liberties. And those are in right now in a program to get totally squashed. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Nice speech at the UN. Still, the rhetoric doesn't match what I'm seeing on the ground. And all I wanted to say tonight is show you that little statement that was made there, and to say that as for me, I will defend the Republic. And if the president is standing with the Republic, then I'm going to defend him. And in this case, where everybody is after him, the media, the Democrats, the leftist Marxists, the IC, the rhinos, he deserves to have our support in so far as he will protect and defend the Constitution. But if this is all a game to get our minds off of the Bill of Rights so that those can be taken away, so that we have no means with which to defend ourselves against tyranny, then I have to stand against him. I don't know what he's doing. But I hope I've made myself clear. Okay, I'm probably going to do a late night live stream in the next few days if I can get a place. Actually, I have a trip I have to take, and that might offer the opportunity where we all can discuss this. Because right now I'm a little tired. Like I said, I couldn't sleep, and I just had to get up and do this just to get the information out. So again, I realize Trump is Trump and us. I want to make sure that when I tell you that Trump is being attacked, those attacks are also against us. Okay, and we're really the end target. We're really the final objective. Do you understand that? Trump is just the symbol. Okay, it was like I heard somebody talk. I think it was Mike Savage talking about similarities between the way the Pharisees, the leaders in Judea, treated Jesus, and the way the Congress, etc., are treating Trump. And there are a lot of similarities. Okay, there are. I agree. So We just can't let that blind us to the fact that the ultimate objective of the demon side of things is to take all of us out. And one of the best ways to start that process, okay, is to attack a leader and to totally decimate him and ultimately annihilate him. That's why I say the cult of personality isn't what we need to be about. We need to have the law of God written in our hearts and in our minds, and be firmly rooted in the establishment of the perfect law of liberty, which is best enshrined, at least anywhere that I know of, in our Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Mostly the Bill of Rights. Okay, I'll talk to you again in a few days. Thanks.